Hey, so there is this question I've received several times. How do I host my websites cheaply? Um, so hiyo swali ni kama imesumbua watu wengi, and today I'm going to show you wenye na host vitu zangu for using VPS and Coolify. Those are the two I majorly use. I usually get my VPS from Contabo because they usually have cheaper offers. Like right now, you see, you get 4 CPUs, 8 GB RAM, and 75 GB NVMe storage at around 4.28 euros. So that is around, it will be around 5 USD if I'm not wrong. But let's check English, Germany, US. United States. The pricing not changing. Yeah, you get the hang of it. It's around $5 or something. This is where I usually get my VPS. But regardless of where you get your VPS, there is also, regardless of where you get the VPS, the procedures after acquiring VPS is usually the same. One thing to note about Contabo is that the services are prepaid, and therefore you have to pay first before you use. That's why today we are not going to use them, because I'm not willing to pay first. This is a demo, so we are going to be using Amazon EC2. But there are also other sources to get VPS. We also have DigitalOcean. Ocean VPS. Them they call their versions droplets, just a fancy name. But there's no greater difference. They're just same thing. So you find where you are comfortable with and get yourself a VPS. After purchasing one, the procedures and what we are going to do just the same. There is also Hesna, so you can check them out. Now your pocket will determine the packages you will choose. Okay, enough about that. So let's get started with setting up a VPS, and then we are going to install Coolify as our number 2 objective, and then the third objective is I'm going to show you how to host various projects on Coolify. You can host WordPress, databases, Next.js, Bit, Python, Django, all that you can host with Coolify because they work with containerization. Just let me show you what I mean by that. Let me open my live servers just to show you. Yeah, this is usually my production setup. This one we don't mess with, this is production, but see, I have 3 servers here already, each is a VPS on its own. This localhost is the VPS running Coolify. This one is where I host the databases for the projects, and this one is where I host the apps. So if one goes down, I can easily figure out what is happening and it is in which VPS. So you can see it's straightforward and easy UI to use. Let's say you want to add more servers. Let's say I wanted to add my email servers here to manage them from Coolify. I just come here, I purchase from Hesna. I think they have a partnership with Hesna, but if you don't want to purchase from Hesna, you just go purchase from wherever you want, you name it, you add the IP address, and then you link the two. So that's to show you how many projects you can host. This is just a recap of how many I'm hosting currently for various clients. See, let me just open mine so that you can see in one resource I have this is the application, is an Next.js. We have a database. So this one is in one VPS, this one is in the app VPS, this one is in the database VPS. So once you link all the VPS to the Coolify UI, your work will be pretty easy. The good thing about Coolify again is also you can also set things like cron jobs. Let's say for something like database backups, and you want to schedule at this time such thing to run, you can set them up here. Or like, see this one, I usually run my daily database backup here. You can also link your S3 storage if you have one to back up the server fully, that is the 3 VPSs and all that, so that in case of anything, a crash or hack, you can simply delete everything and start afresh. Yeah, so that is the UI in a nutshell. There is so much here, you will just get to know each and every one of them with time and practice. Okay, to answer, so let's spin up a VPS. We are going to get it from Amazon. Amazon calls theirs EC2. That is the name they usually give them. So let me go back to home. If you are new to Amazon, you might not see this recent thing here, console home under recent. So you're just supposed to search EC2. That is where you get your virtual servers from. But because I used them recently, you see here, I have it here under recent. So I go to EC2. Then we want to launch an instance, but before we launch that instance, let's open Coolify and just Google Coolify like this. Coolify self-host. It's usually the number 1 here. You are told, why should you self-host? That is it. So this is the only command you're supposed to run, and you have Coolify running. Coolify is generally just like a Vercel thing, but now self-hosted, meaning you will be managing it and you will not be getting those crazy bills. uh, it is recommended that you run it on maybe a minimum of 4 GB RAM and 2 CPUs, something like that. It will work fine. But you can read the documentation and see the specs of what you need for it to run properly, but it will not run on 1 GB RAM. So whenever you are getting that VPS, ensure you consider that and get 4 GB RAM is okay, so that it runs smoothly. Right, so let's go back to setting up our closed the EC2s. Yeah, this is just my AWS account, so you will just set up yours and log in. After that, you log in. So let's create a new EC2 instance, and to create one, we are going to be using Ubuntu on it. On the VPS, we're going to run Ubuntu server. So we come here, launch EC2. You call it. We are going to call it hosting demo, because it's just a demo. After this, I'll terminate it. So you see hosting demo, you come here. There are so many servers you can run, but I'm going to go with Ubuntu server. See, they give me this one, Ubuntu server 2404 LTS long term. It's free tier, but it has low specs. It has low specs. Coolify will not run properly in it. So like it has like a 1 GB RAM or something. So 1 GB here. See here, 1 GB memory. That is small. So I'm going to choose another tier that is not this one they're giving me. I want to use T3 medium. T3. Let's say I want to use T3 medium here. You see, it's 2 vCPUs, 4 GB RAM, and we can go up to 30 GB of SSD storage. So this is what I want, because the RAM is important part for the Coolify to work properly. Boom. So I've chosen that family T3. Okay, so we are supposed to set a key pair. This one we are going to use to log in into the VPS after we've spin it up. So it's important we create it. So we're going to create one. We call it, let's call it the same as the project name, hosting demo RSA, and just click create. When you create that one, it will download to your system, so don't worry about that. We are going to come back and use it later on. And then you come to this section, networking. I'm thinking I should allow HTTP traffic from the internet. Then here you see free tier, we are told I'm eligible up to 30 GB of storage. So instead of 8, I'm just going to put it max of 30, and then just like that we are good to go. We are going to come to this section later on and allow port 8000, which Coolify is going to use to be accessed. So let's launch hiyo kitu, so imeanza, it will do its thing, and then itakuwa fit. So it's not yet running, I know it's still initializing a few things, so give it a few minutes to finish doing its thing. So as it is preparing or starting, we can set up the ports we are going to use. We should allow them because by default they are blocked. So you should come here to security and click security groups, then edit inbound rules, then you add a rule, a custom TCP. We want to allow port 8000 and 00, and we save that. So that we'll be able to access it. Coolify uses port 8000. Yeah, I think by now it's okay. So let's go back to security groups, EC2 instances, and now we want to connect and start doing our things. So to connect, you see here, you are told to, you're going to use this command here. So just come down here and copy, and so ensure you are on SSH. Ensure yeah, you are in this section, SSH client. So click copy. We downloaded that key, so obviously it has been saved in the downloads. So we open the downloads folder, you see it's here, hosting demo.pem. I'm using Windows, so I'll just click on this URL up here and type cmd, then enter. Then I paste the command which I've copied from here. So now that I think you've not seen what I've just done. It was on monitor 2. Let me redo it. So we downloaded the RSA keys. It was stored in the downloads, right? So you are supposed to start the CMD from the location where the key is stored. So meaning if you downloaded the key and you stored it in a different folder, let's say you created a new folder and stored the keys, you're supposed to open CMD in that particular folder. So because it is in the downloads folder, I'll just click up here and just type CMD, then enter. Yes, just like that, I have opened my CMD. Then I should copy this command given to us here in Amazon under SSH client. So just come here and copy, and now if I paste it, do OK, being asked if I want to add that key permanently, I type yes, and just like that we've logged in to our VPS server. As usual with Linux, it's sudo apt get update after every fresh install, so remember to do that. Let it do its thing. Yeah, it has finished with the updates. I don't want to do the upgrades and stuff, so that is just enough for me. Then now I am supposed to install Coolify on that. Let me now go to Coolify self-hosted. Being told to self-host, you're supposed to use this URL. See, no, it even charges easier than you think. If you just copy this and go back to your terminal. I don't know if I am in the correct terminal. I had 3. What's the IP address for that? No, I don't think it's this one. I don't think it's this one. Just run updates, so it's this one with the updates. Let me close these others to avoid confusion. Yes, then I should paste that URL there, and now you just wait for a few minutes to do its thing. It's pulling the images and setting it up, so you just wait until it's finished setting it up. I think we ought to have allowed port 4432 in the EC2 instance. We can come back and always allow. Let's say even if you are not using port 8000, maybe you're using another app which uses another port. If you want to use it in your VPS, you have to allow it. So this is something you should be used to, adding port 443, and then we save the rule. Still cooking, so we'll wait a little bit for it to finish. So Coolify is amazing. Let me continue showing the features as this one is, and the setup is going on. So let me say you get a new client, you are doing the hosting and everything for them. You are supposed to usually just come to projects, add a new project, let's say new client, then you continue. So project is like a directory which is going to help you to stay organized. Now inside that project you are supposed to add resources. Now resources are either the app or the database for that particular client. So you come add resource. So here is where Coolify is massive. You see, you once you create the project, you've pushed it to GitHub. Now to add that project here to be hosted, you only need two things. You need a Docker file and a Docker compose, and then you add it via private repository. Ensure you push it to private repo. So you come here, this is where you're going to source the project from. Let's say you push it to Git private repo, and there you are being asked where do you want to host the project. Let's say I choose this server, and then these are just keys that I use to access various levels of my GitHub repo. But you see, like this one is a key which allows me to see all the repos. Some keys here allows me to only see a specific repo in GitHub, so you'll just set up your keys the way you like them. But I'm going to select that key, LMS. This one is usually for selecting the full project coverage. So you see, I've now access to my GitHub, so I can scroll and scroll and scroll and see all my repos and choose which one I want to host. Let's say I wanted to host this project called Gorma here. After selecting, I load it, but then here I'm not going to use Nixpack. I'm going to use Docker compose file. I choose that, and then it will go to my Git repo and check if I have a Docker compose file. The key thing to note here, you see this Docker compose file here by default has this A, but mine in the repo doesn't have A, so I should delete that. And then continue. So it will go search the project for any project with that. You see, it has found my Docker compose. This is the Docker compose file for that particular project. So just like that, you are done with the setup. So you're just supposed to come to environment variables here and turn to developer view, then paste all the variables. You paste them twice here and here, then you save. See, the Azure, Nextdoor, and everything you use in your project, you paste. The credentials, you get them from your env and paste them here, and here you paste twice, then you remember to save. Okay. But that is all about setting up the app. Now in the project new client here, we are going to have this project, which is the app itself, and also we are going to have a database. So you can add another thing, but this time it's not going to be app which you get from GitHub. You want to spin up a database. So here is why Coolify is massive. All those things you can dream of, be it MySQL, Postgres, Redis, MongoDB, all of them, all those open source stuff are here, including Kuma Uptime for seeing the uptime and being notified if any of your apps are down. So all of them are here, be it MySQL. If you even wanted to spin up a WordPress for a client, you just choose a WordPress with a database. Without database, all of them are here. For instance, let's say you wanted to spin Postgres. Just select it. You are being asked where do you want to save it. I want it to go to my database location. Just like that, you rename it, get the URL, set public port, and then you start. I think now the EC2 is complete. Let me go back. Yes, it has completed. So we are being told, congratulations, your instance is ready. Coolify has installed successfully. And here is the URL to access Coolify. So control click, and this is the first page you get when you install your Coolify. So you are supposed to register, something like register. This is the admin level, so that anybody with this access will be able to access the Coolify admin dashboard and manage your project. So you should keep it secure. This is a first time thing, so that's why we are registering. So let's say hosting demo. Then I set my email, let's say info@moki.co.ke. then I set password, hosting demo, and then I create that account. Password must contain hosting demo hash. No, not hash tag. Yes, just like that. Hosting demo with space. Great. Minimum of 8. Want a strong password. Let's give it Ruto 2024 hash. Ruto at 2024 hash. I hope this one will now be accepted. Yeah. So password field did not match. What? Ruto at 2024 hash. And then let me copy it and recreate that. Yes. I'm not going to save it because I'm going to delete that instance after this. So that's it. So you proceed. Let's go. So you are being asked if choose the server type. So let's say you have multiple VPSs, you want just to connect them now, you can add them directly here. But if you'll add them later, you just want a quick start and use the current VPS you've purchased, you just select this machine. That's what we are going to use for now. And then create my first project. And there you go. Maybe next time. So you have your Coolify ready, and now you can set it up whatever way you want. Let's say you want to set up QBTorrent to be running somewhere in the cloud. Yes, you want to set up a WordPress. This will, for instance, let's set up a WordPress site because it doesn't need much configuration. Let's finalize with that. Let's set up a WordPress site. So you see, we are setting up our projects. This is the first thing. Then here you can search WordPress. We are going to use WordPress with MySQL. And then let's name it hosting demo, and then you don't need to change these ones. I acknowledge. you don't need to change these ones. Then this is just the logins for the database and all that. So you just, after renaming it here, hosting demo, just save the new name and then you deploy. Just like that, it will pull the images, configure everything, and then it will show you when it's ready. See, it's started, and just like that it has finished setting up WordPress. So you'll wait a bit to see if these things are active. Let me refresh. Yes, you see now they are green, meaning they are active. So let's say you get the domain. You're supposed just to edit here and add that domain here and then save, and then you'll be able to access it from there after linking it to the DNS records in Cloudflare. For now, that's another day, but we're just going to proceed because we are not using SSH. Let us edit this and add S and say hosting demo. Let's rename it to hosting demo co.ke. Never. And then we are supposed to reinitialize the server for the changes to take place. Container started. So let's click links and go to there. I don't know why it's not working. I think it's a DNS propagation issue, maybe. I think that is the issue why we've not set it up correctly, but you get the idea of how it should work. So when you that is how you set up WordPress sites. Then when you click the link, you are supposed to register, and then you proceed with your development, setting up the plugins and all that. So that is how I host websites. So you give it a try, and if you are stuck, you can always DM for assistance. You can check out our website here, moki.co.ke. We do website development and graphics design mainly. Those are the two services we do. So we have a portfolio of the websites we've created, and you can also check our graphics design portfolio. We do logos, branding of merchandise, and all that. So if you have any inquiry on this, on hosting, or if you want to give us a gig, if you go to moki.co.ke, you will find all the contacts you need. WhatsApp is always popping down there, and then you can DM and we can pick it up from there. Otherwise, thank you. So I'm going to go back and stop this instance and delete it, because I don't want to get some strange bills at the end of the month. So with AWS, always remember to terminate and delete instance. Don't just stop, terminate, so that you are not charged for storage too. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to terminate this. Those people who thought they can access me after the tutorial, sorry, you will not find anything to access. Yes, yeah, so that is how we host with Coolify in a nutshell. I know there is so much I've not covered, but there's a beyond the scope for this video. So if you need further assistance on how to set up the Docker files and the Docker Compose, so that you can have something like this, you just let me know, and I'll be able to assist you where possible.